Hey guys, Dan Eastland with Dogwood Custom Knives. I'm here with Chef Todd Messman of the Unsuke restaurant group.
Unsuke, that's right. It doesn't suck.
There you go. Welcome to the first episode of the Dogwood Camp Kitchen. A little bit about what we're going to do here. I have seen a lot of people eating freeze-dried food when they just don't have to.
That's right.
God love Mountain House. I got nothing against y'all, but man, there's some limited options. As far as I'm concerned, don't eat powdered eggs unless you have to.
That's right.
In some of these campouts, I realize that people have gotten really intimidated by the idea of cooking.
Yeah, people get intimidated by cooking a lot, I think, in general, and then you go ahead and throw the backwoods into it or camping into it, and oh my God, there's dirt and leaves around. Oh, now you really can't cook. Not true, yeah. Right? We just have to get past our fears and dive right in, right?
Well, and how to store food. People have forgotten that refrigeration is a new thing. Our forefathers went out into the woods for a very long time without even a cooler.
Indeed, they did.
So we want to come back to some of that, kind of peel back the veil a little bit, let y'all get an idea of, with just a little preparation, a little knowledge, you can eat really good food. Matter of fact, as I like to say, just because you're living simple doesn't mean you got to eat simple. Todd, y'all have got, what, 3-4 restaurants in the group right now in Atlanta?
Yeah, right now we have 3 restaurants in our group, Muss and Turner's, Local 3, and Common Quarter up in East Cobb. And we got a couple little other projects that we're working on as well right now.
And
then Eleanor's as well is kind of part of Muss and Turner's, is in the back, little speakeasy bar. Little speakeasy,
yeah.
Speakeasy, easy.
Yeah, I see how you did that. I like that.
So yeah, I am formally trained at the Culinary Institute of America. I've been chefing for quite a long time. I grew up in a family full of cooks, and
Your grandfather owned a deli, didn't he?
Yeah, my grandfather owned a Jewish deli in Boston, so I grew up around that kind of stuff. Learned how to eat, smoked cured fish when I was a little kid, and just had never been picky and always loved, putting food together. And it's really about the joy of creating something and then serving it to somebody and seeing them, kind of light up, and eating in the woods and kind of in this style. It's even more special, right? Because people are a little bit more intimidated and they're not as comfortable sometimes. So sitting down to a really great meal in the woods it just makes the whole experience so much better.
And you were outdoor ed before you went to culinary school, didn't you?
Yeah, I was an outdoor recreation major in college, and I did a 96-day expedition in the Rockies with the National Outdoor Leadership School. So it was mostly fall and winter. So it was a little bit more rough than the normal summertime camping, but I actually prefer the fall and the winter. I prefer the colder weather to camp out in. It's a lot more comfortable. There's less bugs. You can always throw another layer on.
Food keeps a little longer.
Food keeps better.
Share a sleeping bag. It's all the standard things.
With you, I don't know about that.
Hey,
but,
you cook pretty well.
Hey, I'll tell you this: when you cross the Snake River in December and there's nothing but the next warmest guy there to kind of cuddle with and keep you warm, that's how you got to do it.
I have to admit, the hungrier I get, the cuter you are.
Exactly.
Obviously, I'm a professional when it comes to eating. I love to play chef in my own kitchen. When I started making knives, Muss does a lot of my prototyping for me. Every so often when I get trapped on a recipe, especially when I'm in the outdoors, Muss was my go-to guy. So when I decided to peel back the veil a little bit, what other expert to bring? So now that we've talked about how awesome I am, that I grew up in the woods.
You are a woodsy guy.
I did. About age of 4, my dad started taking me to deer camp in North Georgia. So I very early on learned how to cook with a gas-powered stove and whatever. I know it's not as impressive as your credentials, but I needed some airtime here.
You got it.
All right, so let's talk about pizza. Let's talk about Muss's pizza.
Pizza. All right, so this is a really cool technique, actually. Love this. This is a really neat piece of equipment called a fry bake. It's kind of like a super ultra light Dutch oven, right? Everybody's really into the whole ultralight thing. So the way the lid is shaped is very specific with this divot on the top. So the way this is used is we build a little twiggy fire on top. It's just like a Dutch oven where you put coals. This one we're going to use in multiple ways. You can use it right in the fire, if you're base camping, for example, right?
Well, and it can be coals or a twiggy fire, just a heat source.
Exactly. So just a heat source. I mean, you really could use this in a park on a charcoal grill, for example. You know, if you wanted to just kind of bake something out, you know, while you're hanging out at the lake or something. So don't think of this as just something that you got to take camping with you. You can use it for all kinds of different things. And like I said, if you're going low impact or no impact, and you want to use camp stove instead of a live fire, you're going to go ahead and use just a bunch of small little twigs, like little kindling. We're going to build a twiggy little fire right here. We're not going to scar the earth or leave a lot of impact behind.
Enough with the kumbaya shit. Let's get back to the food.
Hey, you know, that sometimes you got to think about that. You know, like when you're in the woods and you like to camp, and you know, there's not a lot of fresh places on this earth left. So when you're out there and you're kind of walking along, you want to stumble on some.
Getting hungry.
You want to stumble on someone else's.
I'm even hungrier now than when you started talking.
And let's make a pizza. All right, so this goes really easy, guys, and we're gonna talk about this as if we're base camping today, right? Today we're gonna kind of show you base camp style right now, and so we have a Publix pizza dough, okay, that you can buy at any supermarket. For a couple of dollars, right? What this costs $2.79 in the bread department, right? And it's ready to go. You take that with you. You're base camping. You put it in the cooler. No problem.
The other secret to car camping is cheat.
As much as possible.
If you can carry the weight, why work any harder than you have to? We're going to show you how to make fresh sauce on the trail, but why? You know, you want black olives? Might as well have a can. Man, make life as easy as you can on yourself.
Right.
So, store-bought, Publix dough, pepperoni, don't worry about it. It's all about eating. All right. That being said, let's first step is the dough, right?
Well, first thing we're going to do is we got a little bit of oil. We're just going to put a drop of oil in our pan here. Not too much, just enough to coat it. And what we can do is, you know, since we're car camping, we got a little paper towel and try to keep our hands as clean as we can, right? So we're just going to go ahead and grease this pan a little bit so that we don't get any sticking. Now these are fairly non-stick, but it's not like Teflon, right? This is anodized aluminum. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is basically just have to kind of shape this dough. So if you grab me a little bit of flour, just so I'm flour in my hands so we don't get too much sticking here. All right, perfect. Okay, so not too much, right? Just enough. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start to shape the dough, and this doesn't have to be.
Man, if you don't spin it in the air, I'm going to lose all respect.
You're going to lose all respect for me?
I am.
Okay.
It's back of the hands.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. Oh, there you go. You are a professional.
There you go. So remember, we're only working with a 10-inch pan here, so you really can't make the dough too big. And one of the things
is more than
one of the things you do is you can press it in, right? So you're going to put the dough in there, and because we greased it, it's going to cooperate with us, and we're just going to press this in all the way to the edges. Okay, there we have it. So what's next on the pizza, Dan? A little sauce action?
I would say sauce.
All right. And just spread it around. You guys, no mystery in how we make pizza, right? Very easy.
Are you sure? Now, is there a technique to that? Do you run it all the way to the edge?
I like to run it to the edge. You're gonna get a little rise, you know. I mean, you obviously don't want it to burn in there. So there we go. We got a little bit of sauce.
And again, since we're cheating,
mozzarella.
A little shredded mozzarella, all ready to go.
Love it.
See, and I make sure you get a little in the pan so it burns to the pan and makes a little bit of a mess.
Yeah, because of course, you know, you want to burn it while you're in it. You know, have to wash it while you're in the woods.
Yeah. All right, is that cheesy
That's
enough?
That's good. Yeah, it's perfect. All right, let's throw. What do you want to do? A couple mushrooms.
Yeah, you can't do pizza without shrooms.
All right.
You want onion?
Got shrooms.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's getting to be about chanterelle time, isn't it?
Yeah, which, they've been popping pretty good. So I like to forage quite a bit too. So you know, it's another cool thing. If you're base camping and it's the right time of year, summertime, you get out there, you maybe find some chanterelle mushrooms. You know, you can cook those up in camp. Nothing like kind of foraging and catching your own food. Catch a trout, find some mushrooms. You know, find some ramps, find some whatever it is, depending on the time of year, and use that to add some extra fresh flavor to your meal.
And it's weight you don't have to carry.
And it's weight you don't have to carry.
Now, how is it that you keep from cutting your fingertips off? You do it like this, right?
No.
No? That's not how you do it?
Yeah. Remember your Italian grandma? She spoke Italian. Just do that. Hey, mamma mia, and then turn your hand down like that. Do not.
Oddly enough, growing up in Georgia, I didn't have a lot of Italian grandmothers.
Okay, well, you've seen TV.
Yes.
You've seen this invention TV.
Yeah.
The Godfather.
Okay.
Turn your hand over.
Like that?
Yes, sir.
All
Now,
right.
just keep those fingers tucked in, or unless you want to keep them. Beautiful.
I wanted to do different thicknesses so people could see that they'll cook at different rates. That was very intentional.
Okay. All right, so that looks pretty good right there.
Now,
That's looking pretty pro right there. All right, so we're gonna roll with that.
we're ready to go?
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move over to our campfire, and we'll get this bad boy set up.
All right. All right, guys, we're back for take 2. I don't know if we edited it out or not, but you may have noticed that the last pizza stuck a little bit.
Now it's talking. Look at this. This is professional shit right here, man. Please. Really? Oh, man, I think we're pretty jacked on the bottom here. We're gonna eat it.
Oh, we're gonna eat it. Let's try to do another one. And Mus is a perfectionist, so here we are. You'll notice we raked out the coals that were under the pizza. It was just a little warm. The residual heat that's being held in the ground should be enough to cook it. A rule of thumb is if you hold your hand over the fire, a couple inches above the fire for about a second before it burns, that's about 350, 400.
I'd say you're about right.
Really good for cooking a steak, a little too much for pizza. You can notice here, I can get about 3 or 4 seconds. That's gonna be a little cooler. So we're gonna get an even golden crust this time.
From your lips to God's ears.
You'll notice the pizza's not quite symmetrical this time. That's what happens when the sous chef rolls out the dough.
The under chef. Love it.
Okay, Jack, 6 minutes. Start counting slowly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 599, 600.
That's a good boy, Jack. You can never abuse an assistant too much.
And was that a timer I heard go off?
No, not at all. We wouldn't do that to you.
Never.
Hey, look, is that a deer?
Ooh.
Ooh, now that's sexy.
Now that's looking pretty good right there, isn't it?
I'm not going to say that that's because I did this pizza and not you.
There we go.
There we go.
That's solid, guys. Boom. But I think now that we've loosened it off the pan, there we go. Let's, you want to put it back in and brown it off a little bit more? Or what do you think?
Actually, let's put the top on it. Put some
we
coals
gotta-
on the top and don't put heat underneath it.
Yeah, probably take a drop more heat even if you want. Yeah, that's a kind of a cool feature of this pan too, right? Is you can just apply heat from top or bottom as needed.
Yeah,
which is
I have
kinda
fully
cool.
drunk the Kool-Aid on it. All right, guys, we put the little heat on the top, try to crisp up the dough a little bit without it sticking to the bottom. Oh, just kidding. Oh, there we go.
Ooh, beautiful.
Nice and golden, a little firm.
Oh,
Where's that plate? Okay, guys, we're gonna clean up and then we're gonna be back and show you how to do this 7 days into a backpacking trip. And remember, just because you're living simple doesn't mean you gotta eat simple.